What's going on, guys? This is Berz. I want to talk to you today about the Zero Tolerance 0560BW knife. This is a black wash design. So as you can see on the blade there, it has a black wash look to it. So it's definitely unique. This is going to be what I would call an heirloom knife, something you're going to hand down. You're going to spend a little bit of money on it, but it's definitely something that's going to last for a while. This is a knife that I can definitely put at the top of the charts from what I've reviewed in the past. I've reviewed the Bad Monkey by Southern Grind, which I really like, and I've reviewed some other knives over the course of time. This is definitely going to be a step up from something that you would get from Cold Steel for around the $60 mark. You know, those are great utilitarian knives in my opinion, but when you're moving up to something like this Zero Tolerance right here, you're moving up as far as craftsmanship quality and a lifelong knife versus a utility knife that you're going to use for a few years. I've been using this knife for upwards of a year, really enjoy it. I found it to be a great everyday carry. Some people might not like the weight, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but weight in a knife to me, as long as it's not something that's going to weigh as much as a cinder block, it's something that really doesn't bother me at all if I got to carry a little extra weight, as long as I'm getting something for that weight. And with this knife, you definitely are. So let's talk about the downside of the knife first. There's only one thing I've seen, and it's the thumb studs. I don't use these thumb studs in regard to taking the knife out because it's a pain in the ass to use the thumb studs for that. That's why they have the flipper back here. Using the flipper comes out real quick and easy. But as far as the thumb studs go here, you can see there's a little bit of, I just call it rust around the thumb stud area there. I don't see as much on this side as I do on this side. You know, I gotta wipe that away every once in a while, and it's probably due to the fact that it's in a pocket. It's in a, you know, a moisture related area in a pocket all day long, depending on the climate and the time of year. But I have noticed that, and I have to clean that every so often. So that is one thing that I've seen, and it's really the only thing I've seen that I don't like about this knife. I haven't seen that anywhere else on the knife, so I'm going to attribute that to possibly the thumb stud area. I haven't seen it on the blade at all. I've used this blade a ton, and it has a DLC coating, a tungsten DLC, and even though it is black washed and it is kind of that used look, I haven't seen any wear really on the blade here. You can see there's some fuzzies on there from being carried. I haven't seen any wear on the knife, and as you can see here, I don't know if you can see any right there. I don't see any. Whereas if I grab another knife, here's another Zero Tolerance knife. You can see there's all kinds of stuff going on with the blade there. There's all kind of, you know, use going on with the blade. I don't see that with this blade, and this tungsten coating, DLC coating, is definitely something that is working very well. Like I said, I don't see any major abrasions or scratches on the blade. The blade itself, it uses an ELMAX powdered steel, which is unique. I found it to be very easy to sharpen. I haven't had any problem sharpening it. It stays sharp for a good amount of time, and like I said, it's a good steel. It's strong. I've done some tip testing, and as you can see there's no breakage. So I've taken it into wood, you know, and tried to break the tip, or, you know, at least give it a run for its money. And as you can see there's no problems with that tip. It's a beefy blade. You know, it's coming in at 3 1/4 inches, really close to 4 inches, and the closed length is 5 inches. And the overall length when it's open is 8.8 inches. The one thing I really like about it is the ball bearing. It's smooth as far as the action right here. Smooth to open. You don't have to really give it a lot of effort. It's not a super fast opening blade because there's a lot of mass on this blade, but you can open it relatively quick. You want to use the flipper here. I have a problem with the thumb studs, not a huge fan of using them. You just use the flipper, and just with a little bit of pressure, you can see you gotta give it a little bit of a push there, but you know, it opens really quickly, and I've had no problems there. As far as the handles go, you have G10 on the front here. You can see there's a little bit of texturing. I'd like to see a little bit more texturing on the front here. And on the back here you have titanium, which is 3D machined with some texture. And again, it's not super textured on the back enough to like cause you any problems or anything like that. It's just a little bit of texture to keep the blade from moving around your hands. The main thing is the way it holds in the hand. You can see the way that this is molded and cut so that it fits right into the hand. There's no movement. You have a nice guard down here, which is the flipper. Kind of acts as two things. It acts as, number one, a flipper, but it also acts as your guard. You have a little bit of serrations on the top here. People call that jimping. The one thing I would like to see with this is just a little bit more aggressiveness with this jimping, with the serrations up here. While it does work, I think you can get away with a little bit sharper serrations on the top here to keep your finger, if you're doing tasks and stuff, you want to have your finger up here to kind of control the blade. I'd like to see that be a little bit sharper than what it is. As far as the liner goes on the inside here, Zero Tolerance has machined that out. You can see here that they have machine marks on the inside. So they machined out and tried to get rid of some weight right there. This is a frame lock, as you can see here. Cuts over. It doesn't go over too far, so you're gonna have lots of wear that you can use on the knife, so it's going to last a long time. If you get a frame lock that comes over too far, you're not going to get a lot of life out of it. If you have it too far over the other way, you're going to have a scary situation. And as you can see, Zero Tolerance has done an excellent job in putting that right dab in the middle. You can see the positioning. I've used this for a year. You can see the positioning is damn near right down the middle still. So as you can see there, it is working really well as far as longevity goes. You don't have any problems with craftsmanship there. You do have a little bit of serrations on the bottom here as well, and that just helps the bottom portion of your hand stay where it needs to stay. And like I said, it is ball bearing operated, so if you're going to take it apart, you got to take it apart with some care. Make sure everything goes back together the right way. I haven't taken mine apart. I've had no reason to, so I don't see a reason to have to take it apart. They have what's called a quad mounting system for their pocket clip here. You can mount it here, pretty much anywhere. You have 4 different mounts on either side, so if you're lefty, you can move it around. If you like tip up, tip down, you can move it around to what suits what you're looking to do. One thing I would like to see is them move this pocket clip up a little bit. I don't see as there's any reason that they couldn't do that. You're talking about a metal handle on this side and on this side as well. They can move it up a little bit to get a little bit deeper. As far as how deep it carries, let me go ahead and take my jeans off here and show you what that looks like. So we get a front pocket here. I'll go ahead and put that in. And you'll see that it does carry relatively, you bump the camera like a professional. You can see it carries relatively deep. You are going to get a little bit on the outside here. Then that's why I said if they moved it up just a smidge more, you can get a completely concealed carry look. As far as the pocket clip goes, but it is a rather deep pocket carry. It's not horrible as far as how deep it is, as far as the pocket clip here. So I think they can move that up a little bit, as you can see on this side, how far down it is. So if they moved it up just another little bit there, I think it would be a much deeper carry. And that's one thing I think they can improve on. I could sit here and cut a bunch of stuff, but honestly, I could show you any knife and sharpen it before I put it on camera and show you that it cuts really well. It did come relatively sharp from the factory. I've only had to sharpen it once or twice. Just using a really cheap Lansky pocket sharpener. I've used that once or twice on this knife. It does retain an edge very well. As you can see here, here's some close-ups of the blade. As you can see here, made in the USA, ELMAX has a serial number 0560BW, stands for black wash. All in all, this is a great blade. I've really enjoyed using it over the last year. It is one of my daily carries. If I'm not using this, if I'm using a smaller gentleman's knife, I'll use something like this 0450 from Zero Tolerance. I also like this one. I'll be reviewing this soon. Pretty much the same review, it's just a smaller knife, a little bit different as far as the contour and size, but it has the exact same features as the other one with the flipper design, and I like this as well. And I'm really turning to Zero Tolerance here lately to kind of go with more of a USA made line, cold steel, and other ones out there like Kershaw and such. Some of their stuff, and the majority of their stuff, is not made in the USA. So if you guys are looking for a good USA made option, it's going to last you a lifetime, you can hand down to your kids or whoever, this is definitely something I would take a look at. They also make all kinds of other knives, so if you're not into this design, you could definitely check it out on their website to see what design kind of fits what you're looking to do. But this knife does everything I need it to do. It's right around 4 inches, it's under 6 ounces, made in the USA, has a good quality blade steel. and some titanium and G10. So if you're looking for a great blade, check this one out. I'll put a link down below to their website so you can take a look for yourself. If you guys have any questions or anything, go and let me know. If you guys do have any kind of zero tolerance knife, go ahead and put in the comments down below how you like it and how it's worked for you, or better yet, make a video about it. And until next time, later. So let's talk about the knife here. So let's talk about